Father, what should we do? The elders are waiting for your decision.
It seems that it's time for me to step in.
Father?
You shall arrange in secret and set the foundation. Firstly, we must find hidden geniuses. Secondly, control Xiangyang. Do not let him escape. The rest, we will adapt from there. Bear in mind, the first two steps will be done in the name of protecting the reforms.
Understood. Father.
Everyone, I was entrusted by the Grand Preceptor. Today, I'm here to discuss with you all,
So he finally speaks.
All right, everyone. My father has only one message to deliver. That we must protect the reforms and the state.
Why is he still protecting the reforms? What is his intention?
Indeed. Why, yes. Indeed.
We want Duke Mu's system to return.
Mu's system to return.
everyone, please calm down and listen to me. We are a mixture of young and old nobles. However, Xiangyang threatens to bring harm to all of us present here, and that's what unites us together. Because of this fact, we need a strategy. We must take this slowly. For now, the first step is to restore power and to control the affairs of the state. Otherwise, it will be all for nothing.
Yes, of course.
And if we're to restore our power within the court, we must protect the laws and the state.
Why, yes, what you said is perfectly correct.
Perfectly so.
This is the Grand Preceptor's strategy.
The Grand Preceptor is judicious.
And the second step?
To protect the laws and the state. We are to eradicate cruel officials.
Why, yes, you are absolutely
correct.
right.
Well said. Well said.
And, the third step?
Everyone, we must adapt accordingly. Let's all focus on the two steps. What say all of you?
Yes, of course.
Well, you have to give us time to think about it.
Yes, yes.
The two steps.
Good. Now, let us drink tea. Cheers!
Yes. Cheers.
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 I thought you had resigned. Why are you writing again?
Each to different rulers. You have not recovered yet. Go rest.
Young? I'm thinking of fetching Sister Bai.
No need. Once my matters are completed, we can leave for Mount Shao.
Then I will go first.
Have you forgotten who you are? How could you leave without me under the watchful eyes of the people?
But I feel so awful whenever I think of Sister Bai. It has been one thing after another. When will all of it finally end?
Soon. It'll all end soon.
Young, if you feel terrible, then scold me.
Why would I scold you? Why would I do that? Am I mad?
There are so many things, and you can't scold anyone else. You could be frustrated.
I am fine. Yingyu, it seems Qin has finally reached a crossroad.
It's been so chaotic. Yet Yungsa has never asked you for advice? That boy. Let me speak with him.
Yingyu, please listen to me. Sit down. Yingxi isn't who he was in the past. He is now a ruler who knows his own mind. It would be more chaotic if personal relationships were to interfere with state affairs. We have allowed him to choose whatever strategies that he sees fit. He has lived on his own since his days as a youth. There is a distance between us. It would be impossible for us to be close. Just like me with his father. We all wish for righteousness. As long as he protects the laws and the state, I'll support His Majesty no matter what. What troubles me now is that I can feel something. I'm waiting for them to appear from the shadows. Only when they have been revealed, when everything is settled, can I finally leave.
You resigned simply to lure them out.
What do you think?
No matter what, we must leave Jianyang this winter. I cannot stand it any longer.
Yes, in half a year. In half a year.
How is a palace so vast, able to feel so unfamiliar to me? It is not as lively as the villages. There are no chickens and dogs anywhere. Only unending emptiness and ice-cold sternness. Yingsi, can you truly be the lone soul who's able to rule this court? Father, you are gone. Your people are now without a soul. There are those who wish to die, those who wish to leave, as well as those who neglect state affairs. Even the sacred Lord Shang can hardly contain himself any longer, and wishes to leave. It is unbelievable. No one thinks of assisting me in this endeavor. No one is giving me any kind of advice on strategy and planning. Father, you were able to unite your divided people under one rule. Am I able to do the same? Heavens above, will I be able to earn any achievement of my own as I continue to rule in this court? I was born after the time of my father and Lord Shang. It is my fortune and my curse.
Oh my, Grand Preceptor, what is it you were intending to do?
The state set up a drum for anyone to beat, correct?
Your Majesty doesn't need to beat the drum if you wish to see the ruler. Allow me to go report in your name. The drum has been hit! The ruler shall hear him in the main hall! The ruler has arrived! Please come forward! The historiographer is seated to record the expostulation!
Your subject Ganlong greets your majesty.
Grand Preceptor, please be seated.
I'm afraid my worries about Qin cannot let me sit in peace.
If so, I would like to hear your ideas.
The reason I held Jinlingjian and beat the drum to meet your majesty is because the state of Qin is at stake. I must say something at once.
Oh? How is Qin at stake?
Before the former lord passed away, I had made clear expostulations. His Majesty had 20 long years of successful reforms. Qin is prosperous, and for that the people and I are indeed very grateful. However, for the past 20 years, the leading official Shang Yang has been acting arbitrarily. He has overlooked many of the states and caused many unjust cases and resentment in the people. The state has therefore become a notorious autocracy and is being looked at askance. Your Majesty has just ascended the throne, and Shanyang Magistrate Wang Shi neglected state affairs and created public disruption. The case was not submitted to the judicial office and was settled by Shanyang himself. His penalty was half a year's salary, and he's still allowed to attend to his duties. Qin laws state that all are related in punishment and must report injustice. If an offense is reported, the government office should investigate fairly, then issue a general order. On this day, I shall act according to the law and report on Shanyang. I also request to trace back to all of Shanyang's previous cases to rectify Qin laws and to comfort the people. Now I, who desires to uphold the law, seeks your Majesty's understanding.
I'm aware of the case concerning Wang Shi.
Shanyang bypassed the judicial office and ruled against the law. Despite your Majesty's knowledge, it shouldn't be undisclosed. So you have come. Your brother Zhao Kang is no longer here. My deepest condolences.
Shao Kang broke the law. I am sorry for him, but also angry at him. I'm still aware of the importance of state affairs.
You came all the way from Jisha. May I ask why you came to see me?
May I first ask for forgiveness for what I'm going to say?
You wish to express your thoughts, yet you ask for forgiveness first. You are indeed a wise man.
I am number one after all.
Determine yourself. Say what is necessary and keep the rest to yourself. I act as the law states, and this has never changed.
If I may ask, who do you compare to?
I am who I am, a truth seeker. I do not compare myself.
Qin stands strong, not by virtue, but by punishment. You have killed many for minor crimes. The people are implicated by the collective punishment. Its weight is increased on the nobility. Instead of being saved, the people are killed. The army seizes land and threatens villages. This marks a huge difference between Qin and Bai Li Shi. You have lost the hearts of the people. This will not endure.
I see that you have many strategies planned for me.
Now that the Duke of Qin has passed away, you are in a precarious state, for the noble families are waiting for an opportunity. The people are getting restless. I suggest that you now return to your fief immediately and request the new ruler to release the criminals and restore the government. If you could eradicate the resentment, you may find peace. However, if you remain impenitent and conceited, it can be expected that you'll be in danger. Lord Shang, blame not the messenger.
Oh, Zhao Liang, you are here to lobby on behalf of someone? I applaud your effort.
This is simply what I think. Do not involve others.
Would you allow me a few words for you to deliver the message?
Of course, Lord Shang.
Relying on virtue or force has been impractical for years. I won't argue that. Since spring, many examples of reputable people have protected themselves and become successful in the process. But there is another kind of people in the realm. They never consider their own livelihood and fate, nor do they use it as an excuse to move forward or step back. If you want your state to prosper, you must pay the price with blood. Blood of the people and the nobility, on the battlefields and execution grounds, from the heroic and the innocent. The state is a large tree. Its people must nurture it with their own blood. Only then can the state grow and prosper. To bleed for the state, of course it will include the blood of Wei Yang. Today, I will make it clear to you and all of the people behind you. My own life and my destiny are forever tied to the new laws of Qin. And there will be no other way.
As a means of law enforcement, Shangyang bypassed the judicial law.
Senior Grandmaster, how will we deal with this predicament?
This is ridiculous.
Ganlong's complaints are all lawfully reasonable. It must be judged by law, not by theory.
Your Majesty, what is your opinion on the matter?
Begin an investigation, and then inform Lord Shang.
Your Majesty, how can we denounce Lord Shang?
Don't get me wrong. Investigation doesn't mean denouncement.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Big brother, who are you angry at?
Nothing. Now, what is it?
Brother, Father wants to see you.
Huh? Uncle wants to see me?
Are you going?
Oh, yes. Come. Your nephew has come to greet you. Being young and ignorant, I have made you suffer so much.
Disaster can be a blessing in disguise.
Uncle, for the past 20 years, I have explored many places and honed my skills. I've now returned to the palace, yet I'm still astray on a fork road, feeling so lost.
I'm meeting you now as a sinner, so we could have a normal chat. I'm no longer keen on politics.
You are still persevering despite the penalty inflicted on you. Why do you insist on keeping me at arm's length?
As you took the throne, there should be policies from the former lord. Why should you feel lost?
Uncle, although I have succeeded the throne, I still have no idea where I truly am.
You cannot find your place?
I didn't know before I took the throne. Once
You
I'm
still
up
do
there,
not know.
I feel like I'm floating in the air, surrounded by cloud and mist.
Because you never set yourself a position to begin with.
I cannot accept it.
There is still courage within you. It seems your hard work is not wasted. Come forward.
I've made you suffer so much.
Come, let us talk. Sit.
Uncle, you do this to pass the time?
Do you know what this is called?
It's called twig trick. I've seen it before.
Twig trick. Can you play it?
I don't dare to. I don't dare to indulge myself.
Fool! You call that a trick? It looks more like a split pillar.
What is it called?
It's split pillar.
Split pillar. Did you name it, Uncle?
It has been 20 years. I've been trying to figure out this split pillar thousands of times. Most of the branches are broken in the garden. Thousands of twigs can form a palace. Those twigs must be supported by a pillar. When the pillar is removed, the palace remains standing. Incredible, is it not?
That is impossible.
Impossible? Then observe. This long twig is supposed to be the only pillar. Watch again. Is this still a trick to you? Yingxi, are you afraid? Do you still remember what you said when you were but a young boy? The thunder and lightning make one uneasy. The world needs to change. And only you can bring that change, Yingxi. Understand?
We were still wondering about the great plan you mentioned before. We would like to hear more.
Qin's current situation must be changed. In which direction? There are 3 ways. First, political change. The Grand Preceptor Ganlong. Second, change in bureaucracy. The former Generalissimo Ying Qian. Third, restoration of power, which will mean the noble family such as you. These 3 changes, I'd like to know what you think about them.
I agree. But what is your personal opinion?
I am but a commoner. However, we should focus on the plan.
Yes. Let's talk about the plan. What are we old nobles to do then?
No matter how vast the differences of the outcomes are, for now, we must act under the guise of protecting the law.
Protecting the law?
Yes, very well said.
Who goes there?
Generals Meng, Xi, and Bai, how have you been?
Are you one of the 5 goats?
You are indeed smart. This is the 5 Goats Pavilion. Generals Meng, Xi, and Bai are 3 such goats. Temple Chief Du Zhi is the 4th goat. And the final goat of this pavilion is me, Gong Sun Gu.
Oh, my goodness. It is truly the prince's teacher then.
Oh, please enter.
Very well. Let's talk. What is it that troubles you?
There's a merchant from Chu that's acting secretively. He seems to know about me very well, but he's of unknown background. Could he be,
The former prince teacher Gong Sun Gu escaped the state, then returned with a disguise.
Second, Ganlong came to see me. He reported to Lord Shang to protect the law.
Ganlong is one of the helping hands of the Split Pillar.
Tell me, Uncle. What is Ganlong's intention?
2 goals. One is revenge, the other to restore.
No. He's only concerned about the new government. He's different from the other noble families.
That is only a ruse. You see, Ganlong is nothing without the nobles.
Third, it worries me that there are still people holding a grudge against me due to the princess's case.
Once you learn the truth, the grudge will disappear.
Uncle, how I wish I could learn the truth this moment. But I cannot.
These few years, I've been secretly investigating the case. I have learned that the culprit who had previously caused your exile is that sly fox Ganlong.
Ganlong?
Ganlong's son, Gan Cheng, secretly selected more than 10 peasants from his clan and sent them to help in Bai village. They worked in the day and kept watch at night. When all the villagers were in deep sleep, they changed the grain for the government into sand and stones. When the grains were packed the next day, they went separate ways. 3 years followed, and all these peasants died from random causes. It was indeed that simple. And yet, it was the hardest to discover. He first aimed for the young prince in New Baili. By then, he had already succeeded halfway. From there, the trick was easy. He proceeded to disappear from the sight of the government. But the result was unbelievable. One move changed Qin's political situation. The ruler was weakened and a wedge was driven. He was even able to reap the seed that had yet to sprout. He left all of the resentful nobility no other choice, including me, other than to take his side. Ganlong is a duplicitous old man. He publicly opposes the reform and is supportive of Duke Shan's government. This is his righteous side. Yet no one can oppose him regarding political disputes. Without showing his hand, he corrupts. This is his insidious side. A man like him is dangerous. Be wary around him.
You agreed to fight under the name of law protection? But what is the logic?
The reforms of Qin have persisted for 20 years. Qin laws have been integrated into the interests of the people. At the moment, we cannot change the situation. If we are to change the laws, we must make sure to eliminate Shangyang. And in order to do that, we must all fight under the name of law protection. This means we cannot remove him if we do not protect the law. If we do not, we cannot reform Qin.
The idea of shouting out for law protection fills me with disdain.
It is against our intentions, and I cannot do that.
Duke Mu's system is a matter of course. This method is idiotic.
Dear generals, may I say a few words?
Feel free to do so.
I think that you are all surrendering yourselves. It's only a minor knot. Who says the noble families are against the new laws? No. The noble family sacrificed much for the reform. For many generations, the noble families fought in the battlefield throughout countless deaths. Each family gave up many of their kinsmen. What's more, for the past 20 years, the noble families have been obeying and abiding by the new laws. But how many of them have been disgraced and exiled? Indeed, not one of them ever complained. If they didn't obey the law and protected the interests of the majority, could the reforms have ever succeeded? No. Don't you think this is protecting the laws? Well, weren't they the men of the reform? How is that intolerable? How much blood and tears have been shed by the nobility for Qin's political reform? Is that not the same as protecting the law?
Indeed. That is the spirit of the noble families.
Right. It truly depends on who says it.
And how it's being said. What you have told us has successfully convinced us.
Let's do as he says. He must get rid of Shangyang.
Please do keep in mind, the noble families are the great men of the reform.
The
nobles protect the laws.
Reform?
We're great men of
Must
the
protect
reform.
the laws.
General Meng, I have another request.
Yes, Prince Teacher?
I wish to join the military. I hope you can help me with that.
I've given you all the advice I could. The rest is up to you.
Can you tell me how you think this can be dealt with?
Are you testing me?
No. I simply wish to know what's in your mind.
8 words. Claim a foe's trick with a double-edged sword.
Double-edged?
One to Ganlong, and another to Shangyang.
What about one side?
To protect the laws.
Claim a foe's trick?
Use it to adapt. Split the pillar when it is necessary for you to do so. Regardless of public interest, the pillar must be removed.
Public interest?
Shangyang's reforms involve heavy sentences, changing customs, including collective punishment and redistributing the counties. Because of these, the old men of Qin were roused as well as broken. The noble families, both new and old, as well as the young and old people of Qin, will form different groups as a direct result of the reform and will secretly oppose each other. It is unfortunate that both young and old support the reform, but the nobility will want vengeance for the deaths of their family members. This definitely cannot be ignored. What is the nobility? They're the select group of the Qin people, the Knights of the People, the axle of the Qin war chariot. With the nobles becoming more resentful, chaos will soon befall Qin. However, all the resentment they have is gathered only on one person. That is Shangyang. It is unfair, but it cannot be changed. If Shangyang is killed, the noble families will then support the new laws. But until then, the resentment they have for Shangyang will never disappear. The urge to restore their power will be reignited in due time. This only means Qin will still need the new laws, as well as the nobility. However, it will no longer need the man who introduced the reforms to Qin, Shangyang. That is the situation. That is public interest.
So you're saying that the people who were torn apart by the new laws can only be brought together again by Shangyang's blood?
It complies with the law of nature.
Would it be your own personal revenge as well?
I do hold a grudge. But what matters here is you, the ruler.
Me?
I only have one thing to say. As long as Shangyang lives, you will never be able to find yourself.
The split pillar.
Your Highness, the Ancestral Temple Chief and 300 other nobles have a proposal.
Has the Senior Grand Master read it?
No. It was sent to the head office and was addressed specifically to you.
Call the Senior Grand Master.
Yes.
We, the noble families, write to our new ruler. The foundation of a state relies on the nobility. We never rested during the process of the political reform. We obey the laws with utmost loyalty. But Shangyang took control and showed no mercy. He killed many offenders and even dared to insult the nobility. Today, the noble families are tired of the injustice. Our lines of descendants are shrinking to the point of extinction. How can your majesty be at peace? Presently, Shangyang has failed in his duties after seizing power for himself. He ignores his confidence crimes and exposed his true colors. In order to protect the reforms of our state, and to prevent it from failing into chaos, I plead to you to select unemployed people for the state's protection. It is for a good cause.
清水清为水黄，是谁泛舟五湖上？万骑女儿一抹香，挽不住西山追斜阳。
天苍苍地茫茫，是谁暗夜唱清江？花旦跟着老生走，一半妩媚，一半悲凉。
金儿上马披战衣，
今生无缘，今生别，来生老槐树下，还等你。
四海中是江，悬崖不落马的是王，悬崖不落。